What's up, folks? We have got a nice change in matchup tonight. It's gonna be a ZVZ between our green Zerg yellowjellow and our blue Zerg kevinnleee. This is gonna be a nice change up. Normally we do typically get a lot of ZVTs because people avoid ZVZ, to be quite honest. So pretty rare that we see this, and this is actually a very interesting matchup. It's evolved a lot in the past few years thanks to the likes of Cyril and Raynor. It's not really a knife fest anymore, although that's always still possible, as we do see Kevin going to be opening up gas first into pool, and yellowjellow going to be opening pool first, no gases. And we did see yellowjellow request the no rush, and Kevin going to be going for the evolution chamber. So this is a very powerful ZVZ build. It's a quick +1 melee first and then speed, and this times out so that the +1 and the speed finishes at about the same exact time, and you're able to hit a very powerful timing. But yellowjellow did scout that with the drone, so he should be aware of this, and let's see how he chooses to defend. I think he needs to get banelings ASAP. He is starting to get gas, and Kevin, he has started his speed, still mining gas. However, typically you pull out of gas, so I wonder if Kevin is thinking about banelings of his own. That would be a little crazy, but I don't hate it either. Both players also going for their hatcheries. Of course, yellowjellow does have his earlier, and he does mine his first 100 gas. It's going to go to speed, and he's continuing to mine gas as well. I would have actually liked to see him throw down a baneling nest first, because he did scout that evolution chamber. And now yellowjellow with his 6-ling is going to harass this hatchery just a tiny bit, but needs to get on out of there. And he's playing a dangerous game because he did see Kevin with the early pool and evolution chamber, so he should be aware that speed is going to be finishing up soon, and indeed it is about 10 seconds away. Lined up with that +1 attack, and Kevin's going to be able to hit a very crisp and sharp timing right now. Yellowjellow actually canceling his wall. Not sure about that. I think he needed to fully wall this. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold this. And in comes Kevin with his +1 Zerglings. They're going to trade so favorably against yellowjellow Zerglings. And all those Zerglings go down. 8 drones go down. Yellowjellow desperately trying to make roaches, but I don't think they're going to be out in time. More drones going down. Some roaches do finally pop out, but the damage has been done already. Even if he holds, he has taken so much damage. He's down to 5 drones, and he's not going to be able to hold. GG gets called. Kevin is going to take a quick game number 1. Welcome back, folks. This is gonna be game number 2 in this series. It's a ZVZ, and it's gonna be between our green Zerg player yellowjellow and the yellow Zerg, who is currently up 1-0, kevinnleee. Yellowjellow once again requesting the no rush, please. And I mean, it wasn't exactly a rush last game. I mean, it wasn't like a 12 pool or anything like that. It was a very powerful timing attack with the +1 speed hitting at the same time. And yellowjellow, he scouted that, so he really should have been able to prepare better. Maybe he just wasn't sure what to do, wasn't sure what he was looking at, but I definitely think he needs to clean up the reaction to what he scouts, as he is going for a scout once again. This time he sees that Kevin going for a more standard build. Actually, it was yellowjellow who went for the early pool this time. His pool gonna be about 10 seconds away from finishing. Not gonna have speed with it as he just starts his gas, so curious to see how many lings he really does produce, and it looks like it's only gonna be 2 for now. So not intended to really do any damage with this early pool. It was kind of more of a safety precaution. And that does cut into his economy, as we see yellowjellow is far behind in terms of the workers, and I say far behind because it is early game, so 4 workers at this stage in the game is pretty significant, and Kevin went for the early hatch first, so he's been boosting his economy, and we do see that in the worker count, and of course the income advantage graph reflects that as well. Now yellowjellow, he has mind enough to start that ling speed, and he did pull off 2 drones. Now, sometimes in a ZVZ it's okay to leave drones in the gas because you might want some extra gas to throw down that baneling nest, but yellowjellow not going to be going for that, at least not yet. Now Kevin has 2 lings of his own that are running across. Gonna do some scouting, gonna spot those 2 lings of yellowjellow, and I don't think he's gonna be committing too deeply into this. Trades 1 ling for 1 ling, and gonna fall back. And ooh, bit of a mistake here by yellowjellow. Flying his overlord in range of that queen. Might even go down if Kevin decides to chase it, and it looks like yes, that's what he is gonna do. Gonna sacrifice the inject, but I do think it's worth it to get that overlord. That's super annoying. That's gonna supply block yellowjellow. He's gonna have to build extra overlords. And now we do see yellowjellow throwing down the baneling nest. He is starting to mine gas fully once again. So it looks like yellowjellow looking for some baneling aggression, and he actually went the long way around, avoiding all the overlords of Kevin. And that's a very smart move. Kevin does send a ling in, and he's gonna scout that baneling nest, but what is he gonna do with that information? He might not fully buy it because he didn't see lings or banes, but actually here they come. They are already here at Kevin's base, and what does he have? Not a whole lot. He went for a fast lair. He's going for roaches, and these lings and banes could potentially do a lot of damage. Let's see how good both players' control is, as the baneling's gonna be waddling in right now. What are they gonna hit? Targeting the queen, that's not what you want to do. You want to hit the drones, but yellowjellow with the poor control gonna be wasting all those banelings on the queens. 4 drones go down, that's not gonna be enough. So we do see yellowjellow with quite a significant worker disadvantage currently, and that just goes back to yellowjellow's army control. This has always been his downfall. His fundamentals typically pretty good. He's not quite showcasing that in this game as he's floating a lot of resources, but typically he does spend his money pretty well. He does drone up pretty well, and it's just his army control that's really hurting him. And we did see that just now as he crashed his banelings into a queen. If he had gone for the drones, gotten, I don't know, 5 to 10 drones, then this would be a much more even game. But yellowjellow, I mean, I was talking as if he's super far behind, but no, it's pretty close as he has droned up pretty well. He's going for a third, and yellowjellow gonna be far behind in terms of upgrades, however, so he needs to be careful. He needs to be defensive right now. I don't want to see him going for any attacks anytime soon, as Kevin does have 1-1. He does have the speed. yellowjellow's gonna have some catching up to do in that department. And Kevin also going for burrow and burrow movement on his roaches, and also going for a double Nidus network. Where is he gonna pop those out? We did see that one overseer get shooed away, so might have to settle for an outside nexus. Not nexus, Nidus rather. As we do see Kevin's supply exploding just a little bit as he's making a lot of roaches. And now yellowjellow gonna be making a bunch of extra drones. So this is gonna be a close game, it looks like, but 2 Niduses going in plain sight of yellowjellow. He's pulling everything back. He looked like he wanted to go for a bit of attack, which I said he shouldn't do, and now he's trickling his roaches in. This is not what you want to do. You want to gather up your army so they can engage all at once, but as it stands, he trickled in, got half his army killed first, and the second half goes down as well. And now yellowjellow with not a whole lot left. He's got a bunch of Kevin's roaches in his main base, some more of his own roaches trickling in once again, and this is super bad for yellowjellow. He might be forced to tap out any second now. Kevin reinforcing with some zerglings. His 2-2 gonna be finishing up shortly. yellowjellow's only on one, I think? Only one, rather. +1 attack. And there's just so much yellow zerg in the base of yellowjellow. 21 drones have gone down, and GG is going to have to be called any second now. The roach warren even went down, so he's only producing hydras. And GG, Kevin gonna take the 2-0 lead. Welcome back to game number 3 in this series between our green Zerg player yellowjellow, and this time in the pink, the Zerg who is currently leading the series 2-0, kevinnleee. So pretty dominant games from Kevin so far. I do think yellowjellow missed a big opportunity in that second game, miscontrolling his banelings a bit. and then succumbing to that nidus. Let's see what he decides to do this game. So far, both players opening pretty similar, and looks like yellowjellow gonna be throwing down, I think that was a 17 pool. Kevin gonna be going for the 17 hatch, so it's gonna be a build order advantage for Kevin, as he is gonna get that little extra boost in economy. Yellowjellow's early pool not really gonna help him too much, but he is going for the hatchery behind it, so not gonna be a huge deal. He is sending a drone scout once again, and to be honest, I don't really like these drone scouts. The first game he scouted and he didn't even change up his build to react to what he scouted, so this is just a lot of wasted mining time, and that really does matter in the early game, as we do see the income gonna be favoring the pink Zerg right now. Yellowjellow, he does spot that hatchery first, so he knows that no rush gonna be coming out of Kevin. And Yellowjellow, I mean, he only just started mining gas, so his speed actually going to be a little bit behind Kevin's despite his earlier pool. The one thing he has going for him is the earlier queen. That gets him the earlier inject, gets him a little bit extra larva, but that's not going to be too impactful. Now Kevin, his pool's done as well. He had enough gas to start that speed right away. He's going to continue mining gas. And he has 2 lings of his own, gonna chase away the ling of yellowjellow. Looks like one of them did go down. And ooh, that's a big scout actually. Yellowjellow spotting that morphing layer. So what is he gonna do with this information? I don't know. I mean, he didn't spot that second gas, he didn't spot any tech structures, so he doesn't really know what this means, and neither do I, to be quite honest. It could be just delayed roaches, or maybe a quick spire, but no 3rd and 4th gases just yet. Double Evo at the front does smell like a more ground-based army, but then again, still no additional tech structures, and now go the 3rd and 4th gas, so still not entirely sure what we're going to be seeing. The layer has completed, and +1 ranged going to be coming out of Kevin, so it looks like it's going to be a roach based army after all. I don't really like the layer rush, as his Roach Horn not even timed quick enough to produce the speed right away, so kind of just wasted time and resources right now. Kevin going for a 2 Zergling attack, kind of just wasting his 2 Zerglings there. Not the end of the world, of course, but Yellowjellow on his side of the map, he is getting additional gases of his own. He's still only sitting on hatchery tech, and he's going for a 3rd base now. Kevin also throwing down the Hydralisk den. So it looks like it's going to be roaches out of both players. Kevin, of course, going to be sprinkling in some Hydras already, and we've got a changeling in the main. Does Yellowjellow notice that? Yes, he does, so he's going to pick that off, but not before that changeling gets a full scout of the main base. Yellowjellow going for an Overlord scout, sacrificing this Overlord in, and he is going to spot that Hydralisk den, so good scout there as well. And actually, Yellowjellow going to be the one behind in terms of workers right now. It's a little surprising to me, because he didn't go for the fast layer, he didn't go for the 1-1 upgrades, so not really sure what he was doing with all his money. And the lair now going to be done for yellowjellow. He is going for a baneling nest as well. Okay. And Kevin going for an infestation pit as well as a lurker den. So sounds like he is going to be probably teching up to hive to get those 2 lurker upgrades. But Kevin went for a roach run by. How did these roaches even get in? And now he's gonna go for a little fight against yellowjellow's roaches. The numbers gonna be pretty even. Upgrade slightly favoring the pink Zerg, but the numbers not gonna be quite there, so he decides to run into the main, pick off a few drones, and actually getting a lot more drones than I would have expected. He's gonna be target firing some of those down. And 9 drones go down. That was more than I expected. Another small roach army. Gonna be doing some harassment over at the 3rd. They do get a queen, might even get a drone. No, he's gonna run away, and that's fine too. Just being annoying, and that's good, as he does need to catch up, get his 3rd up and running. And Kevin gonna be morphing his hive now. Yellowjellow gonna be running across the map with a handful of his own roaches, and I don't like this. That's not a lot of roaches, and now he's gonna get caught. He doesn't even have speed, Yellowjellow. What are you doing? Why do you not have speed on these roaches? Now he's gonna lose all of them because Kevin does have speed, and there's no point running at this point. You're just wasting all your roaches. And down they all go. And that was a huge mistake by yellowjellow. Kevin doing a good job pouncing on that. Some more roaches rallying to their deaths. And once again, yellowjellow's control definitely failing him there. So Kevin takes a 3-0. Alright, welcome back, and whoops, we've got a miss game. So yellowjellow gonna take his first map. Alright, welcome back. This is going to be game number 4 in this series between our green Zerg yellowjellow, and this time the purple Zerg kevinnleee. Alright, so game number 4. kevinnleee so far absolutely dominant in this series, and some mistakes out of yellowjellow. He ran across the map with slow roaches in the last game. Not really sure what that was all about, but that definitely cost him. He lost all his roaches and then just couldn't hold the counterattack. Game number 4, let's see what these players are gonna do. Looks like Kevin gonna go for a hatchery first once again. And yellowjellow going for the pool first once again. So it seems like yellowjellow just not comfortable going for the hatchery first, and nothing wrong with that, but he is falling slightly behind in the openings. And actually he's gonna cancel that extractor and instead go for the expansion of his own. I don't hate that, just to get that a little bit quicker after scouting. Once again going for that scout does cost him a little bit of mining time. And behind this, Kevin does have his gas as well as pool, so once again he's going to have speed a little bit quicker than his opponent. I don't think it will be impactful enough to really end the game anytime soon. yellowjellow going to be getting his gas as well, and his pool already done, so he's going to be getting his queen shortly. And first two lanes just gonna work on those buildable bricks because they have nothing better to do. Honestly, I would have liked to see them actually run across the map and see if they can get a drone if possible. He did scout that Kevin went for a hatchery first. He did scout the timing of that pool, so he should have known that he might have a small opening, and maybe he could have gone for that. Now the hatchery for yellowjellow is going to be completing as well, and first queen is done. 2 additional queens, and that's good for the defense and the creep spread, transfusions, what have you. So I like that. Speed on the way for both players. Once again, it's going to be slightly faster for the purple Zerg, who is going to find himself another Overlord pickoff. So nice job there. Overlord positioning gonna be a little bit different in this matchup because Overlords of course provide vision, so you can't really perch them on top of this thing. Gotta be a little bit more careful there. And Kevin, he is getting double gas, so I wonder if he's going for a quick layer once again. Yep, there he goes. Gonna start that in the natural. Kind of curious because that's easier to scout. But he was building a queen. Maybe he just wanted that ASAP. Going to be getting that third gas as well. So are we going to be seeing another roach play? I feel like we might be seeing mutas this time around because he hasn't gone for mutas at all yet. But 2 Evo chambers, that kind of disputes my theory. Is yellowjellow going to start moving out with a bunch of his own lings? Now this Overlord should have spotted that. Now was Kevin paying attention? That's the question. He starts up more drones, and that could be bad. yellowjellow gonna start morphing in some banelings, and he does run a single ling in. Sees that it's pretty clear, gonna run in with the rest of his lings, and gonna get 1 queen right off the bat. Kevin forced to pull his drones, and now the 2 banelings run in. They go for the layer, and once again yellowjellow's control. What are you doing? Runs in with some reinforcing lings. Gonna get another queen, and that's nice. But for the amount that he committed, definitely not gonna be enough. And he still has more of those, so these lanes gonna start working away at this wall. And that was an embarrassing 2 banes to my layer, says Kevin. Yes, I just mentioned that as well. But what does Kevin have? You need to get some defenses. Some lings are gonna pop. It's not gonna be enough, so Kevin gonna need a little bit more. Gonna pull his drones to fight once again. Gonna have to lose a few drones, but he does hold it off once again. Only 3 drones going down, so good enough by Kevin. And now he's going to stabilize. He does have his 1-1 upgrades. He has his Hydralisk Den up and running. Roach Warren had to be cancelled and remade, so that's going to take a few more seconds. And Kevin with the counterattack, gonna start picking away at this third hatchery of yellowjellow, who does finally show up with a few roaches. Now, can Kevin actually commit to this? I don't think so, and he agrees, so he's gonna run away from that fight. Floating a lot of minerals is Kevin, so you're gonna need to start spending that, but a little bit supply block, 57 out of 60, now 67 out of 68. Gonna need a few more overlords. And yellowjellow running across with a handful of lings. I don't know about this, but actually gonna get us around on some of these hydras. I don't think he should continue fighting these lings of Kevin. And yeah, gonna lose a lot of those lings, but does catch a few of those hydras. That's nice. And where are these roaches going? They're just rallied to their deaths once again. Look at this. The army control from yellowjellow. I cannot stress this enough. Kevin also questioning, what are you doing? And yeah, we just see this so often out of him. He's like rallying his units to their deaths. He's not targeting the correct units, or he's targeting too intently, and that does end up costing him. But not the end of the world, not the end of the game, as Kevin actually going to be behind in workers right now. So I mean, he was in a good spot up until now, but the worker count gonna start hurting him as yellowjellow does have his third up and running. He's mining from it just a little bit, so Kevin gonna need to make something happen with this army, and it's a pretty fearsome one. Lings and roaches. Kevin does have the upgrade advantage as well, and are these two armies gonna clash? It looks like Kevin doesn't really want to take a fight in the middle of the map, and that's a wise choice. You want to be the defender, you want to be close to your own rallies, but don't go too far back. You got to defend this base. So yellowjellow gonna get some pot shots off on this base. I wouldn't mind if he actually fully committed to that, but no, he's gonna let it live with 80 HP. Another questionable decision by yellowjellow. I think he should have just committed to that. Sacrificed a few roaches to take that out, and it would have been so worth it. But he lets it live. And that's going to allow Kevin to, of course, have that extra production. He can drone this up when he sees fit. And that's another mistake from yellowjellow. But yellowjellow gonna be sitting on a nice worker lead right now. His army not gonna be quite as good, as he doesn't have roaches, he doesn't have the upgrades. So I do not want yellowjellow to be moving out right now like he is doing. But he is moving out, and I don't think the fight is gonna go his way, as he only has 1-1. While Kevin has 2-2. Kevin also has the more technologically advanced army with the hydras, but he kind of gets caught off guard. Some of those banelings crashing in, and a lot of these roaches of Kevin not being utilized right now, so not the best fight out of Kevin. And yellowjellow takes a few units and backs off. I don't mind that, but he does need to be a little more careful. Can't really be taking those kinds of fights. He did kind of get lucky. Kevin wasn't really paying attention, and now Kevin gonna be taking up to lurker den, and also going for the hive. He's got some lurkers on the way, and that's gonna slow down this game. You can't really engage into lurkers. But yellowjellow, I don't think he knows about that, so he might think he's in a better position than he is. And he is in a good position, to be quite honest, 55 to 42 workers, but he should not be trying to force a fight anytime soon. Once again, his upgrades not quite good enough, and again, the lurkers gonna be very powerful. And luckily for yellowjellow, he did run a few lings in ahead of time, and was able to see those lurker spines, so he backs off with his main army. I'd like to see him get rid of this Overlord, actually. This is providing so much vision for Kevin. And look at that, he sees the entire army moving out once again, so Kevin could prepare. And now yellowjellow moving out once again. Not sure why. He doesn't have anything to counter these lurkers. He's just running in willy-nilly. And look at this. Losing all his banelings to a few lurker spines. He does get that hatchery, which is nice. And he does have an overseer for vision, but look how much damage those lurkers do. Why would you run into lurkers, yellowjellow? This lurker with 10 kills, this lurker with 4 kills. And of course there were a few more lurkers that ended up dying, but they got some kills of their own. And now Kevin, he has evened up the drone count. He has the supply lead. He is down in bases, so that's one thing yellowjellow has going for him. But that's about all he has going for him, as Kevin looks like he's moving out with this mostly roach army. Couple lurkers in there, a single ravager for some reason. And yellowjellow spots this with his creep, but what can he really do with this? Gonna drop a fungal, that's cute, but look at this fight once again. The concave massively favoring Kevin, not to mention the lurkers, and GG gets called. Kevin gonna take it 4-0.